Vote coming in along party lines, 24-17, Democrats to Republicans on a committee of 41 members of Congress. Jerry Nadler leading the charge for Democrats despite heavy pushback from Republicans on that committee.
The Constitution charges Congress with holding the president accountable for alleged official misconduct. That job requires us to evaluate the evidence for ourselves.
Why are we doing this again? Because I guess we're going out of town and we don't want anybody to forget we're doing something. We need a press release. We need to name people.
Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Harris picks up the story from there outside that hearing room now on Capitol Hill. Catherine.
Well, Bill, good morning. Just in the last few minutes, Chairman Nadler spoke to reporters, and he says he has the authority to issue the subpoenas, but he's going to continue to work with the Justice Department and the Attorney General to secure the full Mueller report. So essentially, he's in a holding pattern, but he said he's ready to act with very short notice. He also emphasized that he did not believe a political appointee like the Attorney General could make a key decision on obstruction. Here's Chairman Nadler.
Those judgments must be made by Congress, not by a political appointee, the Attorney General. We need this information to make those judgments, and the interests can be protected by this Congress deciding which of that information can be released publicly. But Congress is entitled to all of it.
We heard a lot at the markup this morning about something called the Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 6E, and it's a very narrow rule that allows for the release of grand jury material only under three circumstances. One, a judicial proceeding, the second is a dismissal of an indictment, and the third is to provide it for a government body. And Republicans said that if the Democrats are serious, they need to go to court, they need to get an order authorizing the release of this material under Rule 6E, and then they have to provide an explanation, which might be impeachment. Let's listen.
Otherwise, the Justice Department puts itself in the same position as a grand jury witness who breaks the secrecy rule and releases his or her testimony before the grand jury. And that's a federal crime.
And there was a bit of a pile-on from Republicans attacking the chairman, saying that when the shoe was on the other foot, when the Starr report was being considered by Congress that investigated Bill Clinton, Chairman Nadler was against the public release of grand jury material. Here's Congressman Buck.
Here's what you said when explaining why it would be unwise and unfair to release grand jury materials. Quote, "Now, Mr. Starr, in his transmittal letter to the Speaker and the Minority Leader, made it clear that much of this material is Federal Rule 6E material. That is material that by law, unless contravened by a vote of the House, must be kept secret."
Chairman Nadler countered that it's actually more nuanced than what the congressman said. He said the issue was whether the material would be released publicly. It had already been released to Congress. But the bottom line is that Democrats have the clearance to issue subpoenas for the full Mueller report. They're in a holding pattern over the next few days, and they're waiting to see what the next move will be from the Attorney General. Bill and Sandy.
We will follow that. Thanks. Great job, Catherine Harris, there in the hallway. Over to
You're
Sandra
welcome.
now. Thank you, Catherine.